everyone, Kalla here. Welcome to my live stream. Glad you could make it today. So it's been a significantly long time since we were last playing Radiant Tale for various reasons. I believe we just got done with the fourth performance, the one over in Fantasy Venice, was it? No, or was it? Or was it the Colosseum? It was the Colosseum, wasn't it? Fantasy Venice was the one before that. See? I've forgotten some of the bits. Hello, Drag. How you doing? Alright. So, after the show ended, her excitement was still strong as we split up to tidy the tent. Good work out there, Ian.
Ah, お疲れ様.
I'm going to carry this thing away. Is there anything else you want me to take with?
それならそこのものと一緒にこの後自分が運ぶから置いていってもらえるか。まとめると重いだろうからな。
Got it. Is there anything I can help with over here?
ならば小物の収納を手伝ってもらえるだろうか。
Yes, of course. It was already our fourth show, so we were very used to cleaning up. As we worked, we continued our conversation. I'm so glad the flora bloomed smoothly.
ああ、うまくいってほっとした。アーテイル役を任された時はさすがに緊張したが。だが、この町ではあなたたちに何かと迷惑をかけてしまった。改めて謝らせてくれ。経歴や立場を詐称していたことと迷惑をかけたこと。
Don't worry about it, Ian. You're fine. You're fine.
すまなかった。
You don't have to apologize. I mean, you didn't cause us even a bit of trouble. I can understand why you'd hide your past. I was only a little surprised, that's all. As I spoke, I stared hard at Ion's face. I thought about the symbol on Ion's right eye that was currently obscured by his eye patch. Back then, I was flustered by the people that barged in and the atmosphere that created, so I didn't make the connection, but I had actually come across something very similar recently. If I remember correctly.
出して。これね、剣闘士だったパパが教えてくれた勇気の出るおまじないなんだ。勇気の印って言って、パパの腕にもこの印が入ってたの。
My intuition told me that the symbol was very similar to the curious triangle pattern Luna had drawn on my hand.
なんだろうか。
Hyun looked a little unsettled, so I decided to speak my mind. You mentioned before that the symbol on your right eye is the mark of a slave, right?
ああ。とは言っても全員がこの印を刻まれていたわけではない。自分の刻印は一部の奴隷が刻まれた極めて特殊なものだ。
I see. It might be a different thing then.
違うとは。
Well, to tell you the truth, I came across a similar symbol a while ago and...
どこだ？一体どこで見た？
Excuse me? Personal space, please, Ion. Personal space.
頼む、教えてくれ。刻印を持つ者にあったのか？それとも、まさか、刻印のリングを？
Ah, the ring that's missing has that symbol on it, huh? Ion, calm down.
すまない。少し冷静さを欠いた。
can't believe Ion got so shaken up. His face had suddenly turned fierce, and looking up at him, I took a deep breath. I didn't see it directly. It only came up in a conversation. You've met her too. Do you remember the receptionist at Javi's arena, Luna?
彼女が
And, well, as they say, speak of the devil and they shall appear.
あ、いたいた。ティファリアお姉ちゃん、それにイーヨンさん。
The girl who'd interrupted our conversation was the very person we'd been talking about. Luna, why are you here?
私も育った孤児院の子たちと一緒にショーを見てたんだ。それですごく素敵なショーだったから一言お礼が言いたくて。あんなに素敵なショーを見せてくれてありがとう、お姉ちゃん。ずっと剣闘士たちが戦うショーしか見てこなかったから知らなかった。あんなに心が温かくなるショーがあるんだって知れてよかった。院長先生なんて最後大号泣しちゃって、子供たちみんなで慰めるの大変だったんだよ。
As she spoke in a cheerful tone, her face lit up with an adorable smile. Her joy was contagious, making me smile back.
パパと一緒に見たかったな。
With her eyes cast down, Luna placed a finger against her chest and drew a symbol. It was that symbol of bravery that she'd drawn on my hand back then. Okay, Ian also thinks it's similar, huh?
この町ね、知ってると思うけど、強い人には優しいけど、弱い人には優しくないの。私もパパがいなくなって孤児院にお世話になってたけど、孤児の子たちはみんな思ってる。強ければ勝てば何でもいい、そんな考えはもううんざりだって。でもみんな仕方ないって諦めてて、誰も言い出せないでいたの。私も一緒。強い人たちに囲まれて、ただ言われるままのことをするだけ。毎日ただ生きていくだけで精一杯で。でも今回のショーできっと変わると思うんだ。強いってただ力が強いだけじゃない。少なくとも孤児院の子たちはそう思ってくれたみたいだった。私もこれからは少しずつだけど勇気を持ってもう我慢せずに生きていきたいと思えた。
世の中は理不尽なものだ。それは子供でも大人でも変わらない。
あなたみたいに強い人でも世の中って理不尽なの？
ルーナ、あなたに尋ねたい。この刻印に見覚えはないか？
Ooh, he has a sprite with it off as well. The moment Luna laid her eyes upon the insignia on Ion's right eye, Luna's eyes widened.
勇気の印！
勇気？あなたはこれが何なのか知っているのか？
もちろんパパが教えてくれたの。これは悪いやつをやっつける勇気を与えてくれる印だって。
Luna mentioned her dad was once a gladiator.
うん、ずっと前に事故で死んじゃってるけど。
そうか。
After Ion put his eye patch back on, he fell silent. He barely said a word until Luna left. Finally, when she was no longer in sight, I turned to Ion with a serious face. Symbol of bravery. That's what Luna calls it. Is that really what your tattoo means?
嘘ではないな。確かに勇気を与えてはくれる。本人が望まぬ形ではあるが。
What do you mean?
旅の途中で話した各都市のコアアイテムのことは覚えているか？
Yeah, they're the items that the next king wears during the coronation ceremony, right?
ああ。その中でこの町、 フェルスのコアアイテムのみ所在不明というのも話したと思う。
Right. This city's resentful towards the capital right now, so they aren't making much progress on the search, but Lest mention that the government is still looking for it in preparation for the prince's coronation, right? Oh, what was it called again? The Intaglio Ring?
ああ、そのインタリオリングにはある力があるんだ。インタリオリングを作った火の大精霊バレンは苛烈で直情的な性格から周囲に恐れられる存在だった。
In the legends, they even wrote that he made a volcano erupt out of fury.
そんな彼はすぐ熱くなりがちな自分の行動を諌めてもらうため、とある指輪を友であるアーテイルに送った。もしも自分が再びカッとなったら、このリングに願って止めてくれと。そのリングにはそれを通じた命令に絶対に逆らえないような強い魔法がかけられていた。
Oof. Intaglio Ring. The ring can tattoo its emblem onto a human, and the wielder can force the branded humans to do their bidding. Even if one is tattooed, normally, they can lead their life without issue. Once the ring is activated, however, their consciousness is altered, and they are forced to follow the orders of the ring bearer without question. Ooh, that's not good. It's not good.
指輪はフェルスの長が管理していたが、窃盗に遭い流出した。そして地下闘技場のオーナーの手に渡り、刻印を刻んだものを支配する呪いの指輪として使われていた。
Wait, do you mean?
ああ、この右目の刻印だ。
Eon placed a hand over the mark as he continued.
今、そのインタリオリングは地下闘技場が一斉摘発された時の混乱に紛れ流出して以降所在不明だ。だが一度所有者が現れ、もし命令を下されれば、刻印を刻まれた自分は絶対に逆らえず、ただその命令を忠実に実行するだけの傀儡と化すだろう。
Hopefully nothing goes wrong at the celebration when we've completed the story. Why would you curse it like that, Drag? Why would you curse it like that?
たとえそれが大切な人の首をその場でへし折れという命令でも逆らうことはできない。
I'm foreseeing a potential bad end here. We traveled together for a long time, but in that moment, I finally get it.
ならば言わせてもらおう。自分はあなたたちの参加には反対だ。長い旅は危険が伴う。予期せぬトラブルがいつ起こるかわからない。だがやはり自分としてはあなたがサーカスに参加することに反対だという姿勢は変わらない。そのぐらい旅というものは過酷で危険をはらんでいると思っている。
The reason Eon tried to distance himself from everyone else. It must be because... which of these was quick save? Not that one. That was quick save. Eon's kind. You're such a kind person, Eon.
待て、なぜそうなる？そんな話の流れだ。
I don't think that was the right option. Yeah, I finally figured it out. Ever since our first meeting, you've tried to keep me at arm's length. But that's because you don't want to drag the people around you into chaos if your fears come true, right? Right, anyway, I think let's quick load, because I'm pretty sure we got that wrong, because I seem to remember that the little light up thing comes a lot faster than that. So Eon's scared of himself. That's why you tried to distance yourself from everyone. Nope, that also didn't do anything either. Okay. As of all the people in the world, the person you trust least is yourself.
ああ。自分はいつ現れるかわからない命令者の陰に怯え続けている。
Maybe this wasn't for a point.
自分の人生はずっとこの印に縛られ続けているんだ。
This one definitely feels wrong, like the wrong option there. Yeah, nope, wrong way, wrong side, wrong side. I'm gonna go back to that. I'm gonna go back to my first option.
待て。ああ。
Okay.
どれだけ相手を大切に思おうとも、自分はその思いを守れない。
It was literally one more line after I decided I'd clearly got it wrong. Got it right now.
皮肉なものだ。他の誰よりも自分自身を信じられないとは。自分はいつ現れるかわからない命令者の陰に怯え続けている。自分の人生はずっとこの印に縛られ続けているんだ。
Eon, did you possibly join Circus to find a way to remove it?
いや、それは少し違う。リングはすでに国が捜索している。それでも見つからない。だからアレストさんは苦肉の策として唯一この印を残された自分をあえて泳がすことで。
Oh no, he's bait.
現在リングを所持している人間を刺激しようと考えていらっしゃる。自分はそのための餌だ。ただ過ぎゆくだけの時間を有効に活用してもらえるのならば。
Hello Nick, how are you doing?
自分に拒否する理由はない。だから参加を決めた。それにたとえリングを見つけ、国が厳重に保管したとしても、この印は消せるようなものではない。だから、これは文字通り自分が死ぬまで付き合っていかなくてはならないものだ。
I'm kind of surprised that if the ring can produce the tattoo, that it can't just remove it. I see. Eon's tone was flat as he spoke, and the only thing I could do was gaze at him from his side. Out of interest, how far are we into that? Oh, okay, there's literally one more petal yet unlit. I think that indicates that we're relatively close to jumping onto a route then. That night, after the show and teardown had both ended without incident. Once again, great work everyone. We surrounded the recently bloomed flora with drinks in hand and overflowing exhilaration in our hearts. No one prompted it or anything, but the next thing we knew, we found ourselves toasting as if it were the natural next thing to do.
いやー、最初の客が10人ちょっとの時はダメだなこりゃーとか思ったけどよ。こうして咲いたのを見ると、やってやったーって感じがするな。
俺はアーテイルで初めて顔を合わせた時から望み薄だと思っていたけどな。野蛮な野良ドラゴンに能天気、不愛想、毛玉、あとはサボり魔とお荷物。
Which one am I? The baggage? That's very rude, Zafra.
よくもまあこんなメンツがまとまってここまで来れたもんだ。
おいザフラ、陰険天の弱が抜けてるぞ。
誰がいつ天の弱だったって言うんだ？
So he's not going to refute the scheming part.
そういえばラリー、なんで今はそっちの姿なの？いつもご飯の時は可愛いままなのに。
それはアンに毛玉になれって言われてるのか？まあなんとなくだよ。こっちの方が乾杯しやすいしな。
カリダの時はあんなに挙動不審だったティファリアもさすがに慣れたみたいだし、たまにはいいんじゃないかしら。
Sorry about back then. That was on me. I'm fine now, rest assured.
そうだな。家族が突然違う姿になれば誰だって驚くだろうが、こちらの姿もラディであることに変わりないからな。
いい意味で変われたってことだよな。
変わったって言うならビデオもだよね。
え？俺？
うん。今日のステージすごかったよ。クルトラの時とかはセリフを覚えるので精一杯って感じだったけど、今日の公演でのビデオは演技もすごくて本当に伝説のドラゴンみたいに見えた。
そう言われると照れるな。頑張ってよかった。
まさかあんな演技ができるなんてな。今のビデオからは想像できねえ。
あと自分のことを俺っていうイオンも新鮮でよかったよね。新鮮かどうかは自分ではあまりわからないが、しかし練習では何度も間違えたものの本番ではミスせず終えられてよかったと思っている。
笑顔すら作れなかったのに最後はしっかり笑顔だったし、変わったもんだぜ。
そうなんだろうか。笑顔を作った覚えはないが。ならあれは自然に笑ってたんだね。
自然に笑えるのが一番いいことなんじゃないかしら。成長して変われたってことよね。
You know, Pashelia and Zafra have done their share of changing as well.
僕もそうなのかな。
Yeah, you're a lot more confident in your magic.
おかしい奴らに対しての耐性がついただけだ。
That's a lie, Zafra.
まったく素直じゃないわね。今くらいお酒の力を借りて喜べばいいのに。お？もしかしてもっと飲んだら素直で綺麗なザフォラが見れるんじゃないか？
お、いいな。おーれ、もっと飲めよ、青少年。
やめろ、強要するな。こういうのは自分のペースで楽しむもんだ。
Zafra's way of speaking seemed to be the exact same as when I'd first met him, but I felt the difference. Everyone had changed, and so had I. I fixed my eyes on the faintly glowing flora and took a sip of my warm tea. Yep, let's do that. Hooray for tea. A radiant flower of joy, huh?
いよいよ咲かせるフローラもあと一つなんだね。
That's right.
やっと音に帰れるのね。こうやってみんなでテーブルを囲むのも悪くないけど。
Junior is missing home, huh?
そろそろ自宅のベッドが恋しいわ。
お前ら、何終わったみたいな雰囲気出してるんだよ。
Don't worry, I know. We can't let our guards down until it's truly said and done.
また王都の公園が振り出しに戻らないことを祈っておく。
Yeah, yeah. I don't think it'll be that bad, Zafra. We've learned, we've grown.
お客さんがゼロなのはもう嫌だな。
あと燃やされるのももう勘弁な。
だからあの時は悪かったって。もうやらないから。それぐらいはちゃんと学んだからな。
Well, you've gotten better at controlling your magic. Oh, I'm sure it'll be fine.
魔法が上手くなったといえばパスハリアもだろうな。
そうだな。最初は苦手だからあんま使いたくないって言ってたけど、今回の公演の魔法はすごかったぜ。
そうかな。
まあ少なくとも水魔法に関してなら王族にも引けを取らないんじゃないか。
You wonder if Circus will disband or continue? I mean, I'm assuming disband. Given that they were only set up to do this one thing, right?
お、デレのターンか。
Be nice o'clock.
ザフォラに褒められちゃった。
なあザフラ、俺は
お前はドラゴンの形をしたただの火山だ。
Come on, Villiers. We all know Zafra only has one bit of praise in him per day.
いや、これじゃ火山に対して失礼だな。撤回する。
たまには俺のことも褒めてくれていいのに。
よし、かこえかこえ、飲ませるぞ。
はい、この飲み物すごく美味しいよ。
おい待て、それめちゃくちゃ度数の高いやつじゃないか。
仕方ないわね。今ならこのジーニア様専用の高級ワインも特別にあげちゃうわ。
Come on, guys. If he doesn't want to get drunk, he doesn't have to get drunk. Hello, Ethel. How are you doing? The weirdest insult you heard all day? What? A volcano in the guise of a dragon?
お前ら、酔ってたかって飲ませようとするな。
I savoured the lively conversation, and before I knew it, I'd finished my tea. Oh, I mean, I haven't, but...
ティファリア、カップを貸してくれ。次だぞ。
Watty. Thanks, Eon. In the beginning, I'd run away from him, scared. But now I'd grown familiar to the mismatch. Nope, words. But now I'd grown familiar to the mismatched sight of Eon pouring a teapot. Foggy steam rose as he did, and while watching it dance, I spoke to him. Eon, great work at the show today.
ありがとう。あなたのおかげで無事に終えることがで
He's
きた。
smiling. He's smiling. He gave me a nod before shifting his gaze to the flora.
剣闘士だった自分は剣を振るうことしかできない。人を傷つけることでしか観客を沸かせられない。この決闘都市フェルスでかつて手を血で染めていた場所でこんな形で拍手がもらえるなど思っていなかった。嬉しいものだな、存外に。
He probably hadn't told us his full story yet. And everyone likely was aware of that, however none of us intended to pry. After all, even if we didn't have the whole picture, he was still the Eon we cherished. My hunch told me that the true burden Eon bore was something dark and heavy, likely something I could never imagine. But for this one single moment, he seemed to be released from that weight.
改めて言わせてくれ。ありがとう。
Eon gave me a faint smile and I returned it with a wide grin. Intermission as we travel to the next city. We travelled down the long route from Ferris to Arthia. Finally, one night as we were drawing closer to our destination,
今夜の飯なんつうかいつも以上に豪華だな。
フィルスビールはうめえな。やっぱ買っといて正解だったぜ。
Ferris beer, huh? A caramel-coloured beer made from Ferris barley with a boozy and unusual flavour. Its barley is roasted at high temperature, fitting for a beer made in a city ruled by the great spirit of fire. Often sold in the arena, it's a must-have drink while watching a match. We also had a stir-fry dish made with a generous helping of spices that we had procured in Cultura. We'd enjoyed aquapazza in Oriens. Aquapazza, a fish dish. Fish is sautéed with olive oil and garlic, then poached in a mixture of white wine, shellfish, tomato and water, with many variations out there. Seafood is cheap in Oriens, and this dish is often seen on the dinner tables. I mean, we might still get to talk to, I feel like his name began with an A or something, Drag. It literally came up earlier. Anyway, but on the menu tonight was a not-so-aquapazza recreated with substitute ingredients. Our meat from Ferris was still fresh, so we lightly seasoned it before grilling it. All these dishes and more were on the table in a glorious display, a joint effort between me and Eon.
残りの食材を全部つぎ込んだからな。みんな好きなだけ食べてほしい。
This is, we're nearly back at the city and we don't need to make these ingredients go too far then.
いくらなんでも全力すぎだろ。明日の朝とかどうするんだよ。まあいいんじゃない？テントで食べる最後のご飯なんだから。
Like Pascalia said, if everything went according to plan, we would enter the outskirts of the city around noon tomorrow. And having leftover ingredients would be a waste, so I think we're justified.
どうしたんだビリオ。食があまり進んでいないようだが。
ああ、いや、これでイーオンとティファリアが作ってくれる飯もラストだと思うともったいなくてさ。
Aw, you like her cooking that much, Vilio.
めでたい話だな。世界を一周してやっと遠慮を学んだか。
遠慮してるわけじゃないぜ。
前言撤回だ。早く学べ。
I'm not sure about Eon, but you can eat my cooking anytime if you come to Liba.
その時は知り合いのよしみでドリンクサービスくらいはしてやるぜ。
友達価格で割引はしてくれないの？
そこは商売だからな。自信を持って提供するうまい飯は一ラウも値引きしねえ。
ケチね。
ジーニアに言われると腹立つな。
I watched everyone's lively banter as I took a bite of the whitefish fritter. It's honestly hard to believe. It seems like only yesterday that Spirea was encouraging me to join them. To think that we've already finished our tour and are back at the capital.
俺らが加わった最初のカリダ公演もつい最近みたいに思えるよな。あの頃はメンバー全員客のこと考えずに好き勝手やってたし。
最初は何にも分かってなかったよな。
そう感じられるってだけ少しはマシになったみたいだな。脳みその容量も少しは増えたか？ま、クルトラの公園は割とまともだったんじゃないか？あれをきっかけに住民たちも少しずつ元の姿を取り戻してきてる。
You're probably going to return to culture after our journey's done, right?
もちろんだ。そのためにここに参加してるんだからな。
私的ベストな公園はやっぱりオリエンスのショーかしらね。鮮やかな水と光のショー、そして手を取り合う人々と精霊。まさにエレガント、100点満点。映えるわ。なんだ映えるって。
I think he's praising us in his own genius sort of way.
あれはあの時あの場所じゃないとできないショーだったよね。僕たちだけの力じゃなくて精霊さんたちみんなの協力があったから作れたんだよ。
ベルスでのショーも良かったんじゃねえか？回数こなしたおかげか全員演技も上手くなってたしな。
自分的には多少なりとも恥ずかしい思いもあったのだが、しかしいつもよりもずっと強く観客からの声援を感じたように思う。
Whether it be stories of hardship during promotion or our countless failures during practice, looking back, every single moment became a precious gem of our journey together. If we were to discuss each individual show one by one, it'd probably never end, but...
さあ、お皿も空になってきたことだし、そろそろお開きにしましょうか。
It had gotten rather late before we'd even noticed. Yeah.
名残惜しい気持ちはわかるけどね。明日は王様に謁見するかもしれないのよ。寝不足の顔じゃ失礼でしょ。
With that, Genia's words marked the end of the evening. I then returned to my tent and got into bed. A little while later, I wasn't used to this at all at first, but now sleeping in a tent is the norm. But sleeping in a tent is the norm for me now, huh? The evening breeze is so nice. It's no good. I can't sleep. I was wrapped up in my blanket, but rest just wouldn't come to me. Hey, Raddy? Are you still awake?
いや、寝てるぞ。
That would be a yes then. That's so. I can't sleep for some reason. Could we chat for a bit? Raddy leaped off his hammock with a wry smile as soon as I asked.
お前って昔からそうだよな。緊張したり不安があったりすると分かりやすく眠れなくなるタイプ。自分で考えたメニューを店に出すことになった前日とか。
Hey, that was only because I was worried whether anyone else... No, sorry. Try that one again. Hey, that was only because I was worried whether anyone would order it and...
スピレアが風邪で倒れた時とか。
How could I ever sleep when either of you are ill? I'd be worried sick myself. As we engaged in animated chatter, I let out a wistful whisper. Whenever we talk about Liba, I can't help but start missing home.
こんなにスピレアと離れてたのは初めてだもんな。
Yeah, I want to see her again so much. I don't feel lonely though. I've met so many people and overcome all kinds of extraordinary situations with everyone. I've learned so much. I never want to stop cherishing the moments we've had, even after this is all over. There are so many things I want to tell Spiraya. That's why I can't wait to see her.
変わったな、お前も。
Me?
いや、なんでもね。
Raddy's eyes narrowed, as if he were relishing an emotion I couldn't place, before he walked off at a brisk pace.
キッチン行ってなんか飲もうぜ。そしたら眠れるだろう、きっと。
Sounds like a plan. I guess some warm milk would be nice. As we talked, we walked out of our tent. And then we found Junior alone and sipping from a wine glass, looking solemn. Wait, Junior?
あら、あなたたちも起きてきたの？明日に備えて寝ろって言ったのに。ジーニアこそ普段は夜更かしなんて美容の敵とか言ってるくせにいいのかよ。うっさいわね。今日は柄にもなくおセンチな気分だから別にいいのよ。
He tilted the glass and downed its contents in one go before letting out a small whisper.
もう旅も終わりだしね。せっかくだから正直に言うわ。私、この旅が成功するなんてちっとも思ってなかったの。フローラの開花任務自体、大臣どもに押し付けられたようなものだったからね。だからまあ、それなりに本気に見える人員を集めてみて。
What's your question about warm milk, Drag? It's a. I will say words. Allegedly, it's pretty good for a nighttime drink, but.
それで適当に旅行しながらショーっぽいことをしておけば言い訳できると思ってたの。そしたら集まったメンバーがものすごいことになったってわけか。
You've never really had or heard of anything other than milk stored in the fridge. I mean, it's the same milk that's stored in the fridge. You just put it in a. Well, you heat it up somehow. For me, I would put it in a mug and put it in the microwave for a little bit. But I think you can also like heat it in a saucepan. I haven't had warm milk since I was a kid.
そう。伝説のドラゴン、怪しい情報や異質な契約者、訳ありの元剣闘士。例外で平凡な女の子とただの毛玉。まあ今思えばあなたたちを勧誘したところからやっと歯車が回り出したのよね。だな。お前らがいなきゃここまで来れなかったぜ。
Is everyone awake?
それは大げさだろう。ま、案外役に立ったのは事実だが。
Everyone's awake. You guys.
すまない。どうにも目が覚めてしまってな。
最後の夜だし、これで終わりだなと思うと、眠るのがもったいなくて。
So everyone felt the same way, huh?
寝ろって言ったのに仕方のない子たちね。
Contrary to his words, Genia smiled, and I could sense his genuine joy in it.
ま、せっかくだし、ちょっとみんなで涼みましょうか。おお、今日は特に星が綺麗だな。
That is a lot of stars.
星の瞬きが精霊さんみたい。
In a grassy plain a bit from our camp, we were all sitting down and admiring the sky together.
流れ星だな。
そういえば流れ星が消える前に願いをかけると願いが叶うってみんな知ってる？
そうなのか？俺は初めて聞いたな。
流れ星も何もこれから本当に願いが叶うんだろう。
Ah, Zafira.
あ、そういやそうだった。
You're going to borrow that mystic tool stored in the castle, right, Zafira?
あ
アーテイルを出た時はお前らには関係ないとか言ってたのにな。あの時を思い出すともはや別人だよな。
口が悪いのは変わらないけどな。
うるさい。変わったのはみんな同じだろ。
Everyone has been changed by this journey.
イーオンなんて元治安維持隊の縁から命令で同行したとか言ってたが完全に嘘だったしな。
それはすまなかった。
経歴が嘘なのは最初から知ってたけどな。いいよ、命令だから願いはないってあの時に言ってたよね。あれも嘘？
願いに関しては嘘ではない。指示されて参加したのは本当のことだ。
みんなももう分かってると思うけど、あーちゃんが参加するようにって言ったのよね。
Ah, yeah, his name's Alest, isn't it? Alest. That's the guy who's obsessed with the prince.
でもそれはイーオンの願いに直結するものよ。
そうだな。分かってはいるんだ。アレストさんが考えてくれていることは本当は自分の願いにつながるものだと。
Leon placed a hand against his eye patch before fixing his gaze on Pashalia.
そういうパスハリアはどうなんだ？
両親にプレゼントするための魔法具をもらうとか言ってたか。
うん。今はね、ちょっとだけ変わったんだ。
そうなのか？
うん。旅の中で見つかるかなと思ってた探し物があったんだけど。
Yeah, what anime are you watching at the moment that has a character that reminds you of Alest? Huh?
見つけられなかったから王様を頼ってみようかなって。
Ah, yeah, because Pashalia still wants a teacher. What kind of something would that be? Pashalia wore a troubled smile. He poked the water hourglass on his hip lightly before answering in a subdued voice.
内緒。
そこまで言っといて内緒かよ。
まあまあ、人の秘密は無理に暴くものじゃないでしょ。それよりあなたたちはどうなの？旅しながら考えるって言ってたけど、ちゃんと願いは決まった？
ああ、それは。ティファリア、お前はどうだ？
I'm not sure. When I'd left Arthea, I'd thought about using my wish for Spirea's sake. That remained unchanged. I still wanted to choose something that'd benefit Spirea and Raddy. But it's not a wish I'd like the king to grant, and it doesn't have to happen soon. But I think that one day, if I could travel around the world again with everyone just like this, it'd be nice. It had been a casual suggestion on my part, but for a second, everyone froze, as if they'd rehearsed that movement. It was brief, however. A heartbeat later,
バカなこと言うな。ようやくおかしな集団との旅が終わるってのに。
この規模の旅をするには資金がいる。確たる目的もなく、その金額を出せというのは難しいと思うが。
Zephyr is just like, I don't want to see any of you guys ever again. Eon, whereas Eon's like, there are monetary concerns.
楽しいだろうなとは思うけど、時間は有限だからね。
Asalia says there are time concerns.
そうだな。いつかまた旅ができたらきっと楽しいだろうな。
See, Villiers up for it. No one declined outright, but none of them voiced their agreement either. I can tell that they're not against the idea, but... Ooh, shooting star. I saw that. Mission Yozakura family, huh? I'm guessing, is that something that's newest season? I haven't actually had a chance to look at the anime this newest season yet. Okay. Feeling a little awkward, I stared up at the sky and happened to see a star racing across.
あ、流れ星。
Everyone stayed completely silent while the star blazed a trail across the night sky. I didn't know whether everyone made a wish, nor what they wished for, but the one who broke the silence was Genia.
さあ、そろそろ寝ましょう。笑顔を振りまいてきた私たちに切ない話は似合わないわよ。
ま、そうだな。そもそもこれで何もかも決着ってわけでもねえしよ。
まだフローラは一つ残ってるし、もう一頑張りよ。
珍しいな。ジーニアが葉っぱをかけるなんて。明日の天気は大荒れだな。
せっかくここまで来たんだもの。ハッピーに終わらせたいじゃない。もちろんあくまで私らしくエレガントにだけど、最後の締めに熱くなるのもたまには悪くないんじゃない？
Chapter 5 is still the common roots.
帰ってきたわよ、愛しの王と。
When the magnificent white castle entered my vision from beyond the plaza, I thought, I'm really back home. It had been an everyday sight for me before, but it felt like it's been ages since then. Before I left, I felt so lost and uneasy. Who would have thought?
なんだなんだティファリア、泣いてんのか？
あらあら、女の涙はここぞという時に取っておかなきゃダメよ。
I'm not crying.
泣くには早いぜ。ショーはまだあと1回残ってるんだからな。
そうだな。いよいよ残るフローラの種もあと一つだ。
これが咲けばきっと王子様も回復するね。
Like they all said, there's just one flora to go. We'd heard updates about the prince's health from Aleste every now and then, but when I faced the castle, I was reminded of one fact. The task on our shoulders was one that would decide the future of this country, this world. I'm also just looking at that castle and going, are those literal flying buttresses? I mean, there's the technical flying buttresses down there at the bottom. But that bit at the top is not actually attached to the ground, I don't think, because you can see the clouds through it. I don't think I'd want to walk out onto those. One more. We must make it bloom.
お前、今さら緊張してるのか？ 4 回も5回も同じだろ。
Right? They seem attached to the tower, but... physics does not appear to be on their side. I suppose this is a world of magic, but...
4回とも大変だったけどさ、全部成功させてきたんだから、きっと大丈夫だって。
ああ、あなたのおかげでここまで来れたんだ。自信を持て。
今まで通りみんなで力を合わせればちゃんと成功するよ。
Yeah, you're right. The goal was right before our eyes. I gazed at everyone, who were all thrilled and elated, before I looked back at the castle. It's really over after this last show. And reaching our goal marks the end of our journey, and my last chance to be together with everyone. In the shadow of my determination was a sneaking pang of melancholy. Ah, Alest.
待たせたな、諸君。
Alest!
あーちゃん遅いわよ。
何を言う？時間ぴったりだ。さて、本当はこのまま王子のご様子について話をしようと思っていたんだが、時間がないので、今回は割愛。
Oh, good. I mean, I didn't say that. Phew.
これからのことだが、ひとまずジーニアは諸々の報告のため城へ来い。
了解。あ、俺も用事あるから一緒に行くな。
ああ、わかった。他の面々はリーベルへ向かってくれ。人数分の予約を済ませてある。私とジーニアは明日合流予定だ。
Ooh, we get to see Spirea.
それまでまずは旅の疲れを癒しておいてくれ。最後の公演に向けて万全な状態にしておいてもらわなければならないからな。
Okay, we will.
では。
それじゃ明日ね。
After Alest's announcement, the trio headed toward the castle. Meanwhile, the rest of us went to Liber for the first time in so long. Before the familiar chime of our doorbell could end, I'm home, Spirea. The moment Spirea turned around,
おかえりティワリア。
I leapt into her arms, into the embrace I loved very much.
あんたたちもよく帰ってきたね。
おう、帰ったぜスピレア。
また泊まりに来た。
ああ、2階は準備してあるからゆっくり休みな。夕食も豪華なものを揃えてるからね。
うん、楽しみにしてるね。
家族水入らずで積もる話もあるだろう。自分たちはしばらく席を外そう。
ああ、すまないね。
じゃ、俺もちょっと奥で休憩してくっかな。
With that, everyone retreated to their rooms, leaving the two of us together. And then, I thought I was done for, but everyone showed up to help. So our plan was a great success. My heart still races at the thought even now. I shared many, many memories with Spirea that I hadn't managed to fit in my letters.
大冒険だったね。
Oh, I'm so sorry. I should let you get on with preparations for the evening.
いいんだよ。好きなだけ話しな。あんたの話を聞きながらでも準備はできるよ。
It can wait until later. We'll have plenty of chances to talk, so I'll help out.
帰ってきたばかりだろ。あんたも休んできたらどうだい？
I'm fine, really. If I don't do something, I'll get all fidgety.
そういうところは全然変わってないね。
Spirea had a wry smile on her face as she went to the kitchen. Well then, what should I help with? Cooking sounds good. Quick save, quick save. Cooking seems the most Eon-like. Right? Cooking. Wanting to help out with cooking, I headed to the kitchen.
まったく本当に休んでていいんだからね。
But I've finally come back to Liba. Plus, I want to show you how much I've improved as soon as I can. Seeing me clench my fists in determination, Spirea sported a wry smile.
わかったわかったよ。変に頑固なのも相変わらずだね。けどそれだけ言うってことは料理の腕期待してもいいんだね。
Of course. To tell you the truth, one of our members is an amazing chef. And speak of the devil, I assume. Yep.
ティファリア、スピレアさんも一緒だったか。
As if he'd heard us speaking of him. Eon appeared on the stairs and I tilted my head curiously. Huh? Eon? Weren't you resting?
そのつもりだったのだが、どうにも手持ち無沙汰でな。何か手伝えることはないかと、こうして降りてきたんだ。
なんだティファリアと同じじゃないか。
同じとは？
ちょうどこの子も言ってたんだよ。落ち着かないし料理を手伝わせろって。
そうか。ならば自分も手伝おう。
あんたが？いいけど野菜の皮むきくらいはできるのかい？
それなりには。
Relatively. You're an incredibly good cook, Eon, remember? Spirea is going to be so surprised. As I hid the grin on my face, we all went into the kitchen. A few hours passed.
よし、こんなところか。あとはデザートぐらいだな。
Pizza with the delectable smell of cheese, a fresh crunchy salad, as well as minestrone with a generous serving of meat. Dinner was laid out in a grand display on the table, and Spirea stood by, dumbfounded.
私が少し席を外してる間に。これ、あんたが作ったのかい？
Oh no, she went away for a little while. She missed it.
ああ、旅の最中とは違って、アーテイルは食材も豊富だから、ついつい興が乗ってしまった。差し出がましい真似だったか。
そんなことはないよ。しかし驚いたね。味付けも完璧じゃないか。
I mean, I'm guessing that she was gone at least long enough to make pizza, which is like half an hour? Well, no, it's a lot longer than that if you don't have the dough sorted. But if dough existed, then less than half an hour for pizza. Eon's amazing, isn't he? I was really surprised at first too.
なぜあなたが自慢げなんだ？
ま、改めて安心したよ。この様子じゃ旅の間もちゃんと仲良くやってたみたいじゃないか。
People often got a mistaken impression of Eon at first, so I was really happy when someone acknowledged him for him. I puffed out my chest as if I was the one being praised, and Spirea smiled as she softened the corners of her eyes.
いいオンだったね。確かに顔はちょっと怖いけど、料理もできるし、いい男じゃないか。どうだい？今後行くとこなかったら、リーベルを継いでみるってのは。
You should consider that, Eon. Huh? Is she saying...
スカウトか？しかし自分はあなたたちのように愛想よく接客はできないが。
そこは適材適所ってやつさ。 うちには自称ラブリーモフモフ小動物と可愛い看板娘がいるからね。もしあんたがうちに来て厨房を取り仕切ってくれれば、私も安心して隠居して旅行にでも出られるってもんさ。
なるほど。検討の余地はあるな。
Wait. Eon? Do you even know what she means by taking over Liba? It's a family business, you know?
無論だ。
Do you know, Eon?
料理だけではなく、経営面の勉強も必要になるという話だろう。
I think you missed the family part of that. That's not what I'm talking about.
その反応からすると、ティファリアの方はまんざらでもなさそうだね。
Oh, stop it already, Spirea. I protested, turning red as an apple. Then Spirea's expression turned solemn.
店を継ぐかどうかはともかくさ、帰る場所があるのはいいもんだよ。もともとこのリーベルを建てたのも、誰かの帰って来られる場所にってのが始まりだったからね。
だからこの店はこんなにも温かいのだな。
ああ、少なくとも私はお客様は家族だと思って接してるからね。
家族。
Hyun's gaze seemed to shift for a moment, and I had the feeling he was looking at me. Flustered, I looked away and stood up. Well, the food's ready, so I'll go call everyone. I need to go refill my water. I forgot to top it off at the beginning of the stream. So it's run out a little earlier than usual. So I will be right back. I have returned. After that, Circus and Spirea sat down at the dinner table. There was great excitement as we shared stories of our travels. The tales just kept coming, and we ended up talking all the way into the night. When it was time to bid farewell to this delightful event,
泥酔していたラディは指定された部屋に放り込まれた。
oh no, Raddy! He got so drunk he had to be thrown into his room.
他の者を騒ぎすぎたからか、今日はもう休むとのことだ。
I think Spirea has gone to bed too. Sorry for all the trouble, you're meant to be a guest.
構わない。家族に近い存在だと言ってくれたのはスピレアさんだ。家族なら家事を手伝うのは普通のことだろう。
Thanks. As we continued this conversation, Ian and I tidied up the party table together. And sorry for all the noise. Even Spirea drank much more liquor than she usually does.
それだけあなたとラディの期間が嬉しかったということだろう。それに楽しかった。こういう賑やかな食事も悪くない。
In terms of liveliness, I think we made a bigger fuss on the road.
それはそうだが、家族の団らんというのだろうか。こういった温かさは久しく感じていなかった。
Oh. Right. Ian was sold to an underground arena as a child, so... I hesitated for a moment. Was it all right to bring it up? However, I wasn't able to suppress my curiosity. Ian, may I ask about your parents?
自分が10歳の時に故郷の村で起きた事故で亡くなった。その後2年ほどして自分は治安維持隊入りを目指しフェルスに向かったのだが、同行した行商人が運悪く奴隷商人でな。あとはあなたの知る通りだ。
Ian said it all without faltering, but... If that didn't happen, he could have joined the security forces and done what he wanted. Yet, he was locked away underground, forced to fight all the time, unable to go outside. Though I was hesitant about what to say, I spoke up again and asked about... Alright, so this is probably where we're getting our last affection thing. His life in the arena or his life after he left? I think I'm a lot more interested in his life after he left. Let's double check we've got the quick save. But you were released from the underground arena later on, right?
ああ、
Hey,
アレ
that
スト
was
さん
right.
が指揮を執った例のフェルス浄化作戦でな。それからは他の剣闘士奴隷と共に王都へと護送されたが、
Ian hesitated for a moment before casting his eyes down.
完全に解放されたかというと少しだけ違う。
What do you mean?
王都に護送された剣闘士奴隷は健康状態や経歴を細かく調査された後、特に問題がなければ国に支援され少しずつ姿勢へ戻っていったが、自分は例外だった。
Exception?
当時ただ一人インタリオリングの刻印を刻まれたまま生き残っていた自分は、
Ah.
他の者と同じように市政に出るわけにはいかない。自分はその後も王城で3年間軟禁状態だった。
That's so unfair. You were finally freed, but you were still...
そう辛そうな顔をしないでくれ。軟禁とはいえ地下闘技場よりもはるかに自由は保障されていたし、多少の教育も受けられた。アレストさんも自分を案じて何かと便宜を図ってくれたからだ。
Ah, good on the list. Still, that's...
それに何よりも軟禁されていたのは自分の意志だ。自分のために憤ってくれて感謝する、ティファリア。だが結局のところ自分の抱えた問題は何も解決していない。
ヒヨン。
ほんの冗談だとしてもリーベルを継ぐのはどうかと言ってくれたのは嬉しかったが、だが仮にどれほど輝いた未来を用意されたとしても、この刻印が消えるまで自分は自分を信用できないんだ。
His level tone was also one of resignation. Even Eon must have started out with his own hopes and dreams for his life, yet that brand coiled around him like a snake and fettered him. Now he truly believed that he had no future to speak of. Hearing that, Aww.
Tifaria.
His tattoo was a curse, a hateful thing that locked the doors of possibility. And I gently reached my hand out to it. I'm sure you can erase it. I mean, they promised they'd grant us any wish after we bloom one more flora.
だが、大精霊が作った指輪だ。いかにビゴニア王とはいえ。
It'll be alright. Everyone thought our show was doomed, but we've managed to prove them all wrong so far. Nothing is impossible. You'll be fine, no doubt about it.
そうか。そうだな。
There was no rhyme or reason to my absurd declaration. I didn't know whether my words reached him. But there was a small smile on Eon's face, a moment that etched into my memory. The next day, though the events of yesterday still weighed a bit on my mind, Genia and Aleste are going to arrive soon, so I need to act normal. I psyched myself up as I put away the now clean breakfast plates and cutlery. Then, after a slight wait, Genia appeared with an energy that seemed out of place on a sleepy morning.
朝からその声量は迷惑だ。もう少し抑えろ。
He came side by side with Aleste, whose eyebrows were furrowed.
ああ、思ったより早かったな。二人とも昨日ぶり。
Oh, hey, Villiers.
ジーニアが遅れずに来るなんて珍しいこともあるもんだな。
私がいるんだ。遅刻なんて許さない。
二人ともお酒臭いの。
Have you two been drinking this early in the day, or did you just not sleep? He's right. They smell like Raddy the day after he's been binge drinking.
もしかして朝まで飲んでいたのか。
あーちゃんったら私と久々に会えたのが嬉しかったのね。
I think Genia's still drunk.
朝まで話してくれなくて大変だったわ。
変に話を盛るな。どう考えても付き合わされたのはこっちだろう。
They're such good friends. They were childhood pals and had even been co-workers. Though they were bickering and bantering, they probably were elated about this long-time reunion. Genius seemed to be wearing his usual demeanor, but I could tell he was in a good mood.
今は多少の余裕があるが、時間は無限にあるわけではない。全員揃っているな。では、今後について話をさせてもらう。
Aless cleared his throat.
まずは王子のご様子についてだが。
Okay. I'm gonna sit down for this. Oh no. That worry didn't last, however. Because for some reason, Aless fell silent and tears welled up in his eyes.
どうしたんだアレスト。腹でも痛いのか？
いや、すまない。あの時のご様子を思い出すだけで、こみ上げてくるものがあってな。
Good emotion or bad emotion?
ゆうべもそれで盛り上がったものね。ほら、言ってあげて。
ああ。4個目のフローラの蜜をお飲みになった王子は、なんと
Accidental.
つぶやかれたのだ。寂しいと。
Oh no. Lonely.
王子が自分の感情を表に声に出されたのだ。今まで言葉すら発することのなかった王子が
That's progress.
自らのお気持ちを示してくださったのだ。
Aless' voice wavered as he talked, making emotions surge in my heart all the same.
それってさ、凍ってた心が溶けかかってるってことだよな。
うん。ここまでの変化って今までなかったもんね。
よかったな。俺らもここまでやってきた甲斐があるってもんだ。
ああ、つぶやいた内容が気がかりだが。
何にしてもあと一歩ってところまで来た。そういうことだろ。
その通りだ。王子は君たちの咲かせたフローラによって見違えるほど変わられた。残るあと一つのフローラが完全回復の決め手となるだろう。これまでの成果を王も高く評価してくださっている。そのため最後のアーテイルでの公演は国王、王子ともに観覧なさる予定だ。
お、早速お客さん獲得だな。これまで10年間お城から出なかった王子に町の人々の笑顔を見せたいというのが王様のご意向でね。
まあ王子のために集まったのに2人とも見に来たことはないからな。最後くらい見に来るのは当たり前か。
So we're performing for royalty this time, huh? What?
王子様のためにも頑張らなきゃね。
Pressure increased by a factor of X, indeed. Factor of at least 10. Oh, wait. Hold up.
そうだな。失敗した初回公演の汚名を払拭するいい機会だ。全力を尽くそう。
Everyone acted as if it wasn't a big deal, but...
おいおい、待て。国のトップが見るんだぞ。もう少し緊張するとかねえのか？
Reddy said exactly what I was thinking.
緊張はしている。
うん。すごくドキドキしてる。
いやお前ら、緊張なんてみじんも感じねえぞ。
俺たちが何か言ったところで2人が来るって事実は変わらないだろう。
そうその通り。これはもう確定事項だから諦めてちょうだいね。俺は楽しみだぜ。
おお、やっぱりドラゴン様は格が違うな。
だって4回も成功させてきたんだ。誰であっても俺たちがやることは 見てくれた人を笑顔にすること。そうだろ。
Ilio declared that boldly, and watching him. He's right. I couldn't stop myself from tensing up, but our duties were still the same. Whether they were researchers, craftsmen, artists, gladiators, or royalty. We would do the same thing as always. Make every single one of them smile.
はあ、たく。んなこと言われたら何も言えねえだろ。
やっぱりこういう時ビリオっていいこと言うよね。
お、普通のことを言ったつもりだったんだけど、なんかみんなと違ったか？
Vilio, eternal optimist. No, not at all. You said exactly what we were all thinking. We'd already made it this far as a team. Let's make everyone smile.
おう。
で、実際の内容はどうするんだ？アーテイルにはこれといった問題点はないんだろ？
そうだね。最初の公演で失敗したのは宣伝不足だったと思うから。
良くも悪くも珍しいもの、新しいものには飛びつきやすい人間が多いからな。
ここにはあらゆる人や物が集まる最も栄えている商業都市だからな。これまでのように調査して内容を決めるというわけにはいかなそうだ。
そうね。今までの公演でいろいろとやってきたからやりようはあると思うけれど。あのさ。
The team began brainstorming ideas, but Vilio cut that short and raised his voice.
俺、案があるんだけど。
Completed onto a massive mix of all the previous chosen one. Yeah, that would be terrible, wouldn't it?
まさかまたテントを燃やす気か？
あの時みたいに火を出されるとちょっと怖いかな。
ビリオの案って初か？
小さいアイデアはいくつか採用されていたから完全な初ではないはずだ。
Since it was Vilio talking, we felt a little doubtful whether it'd work out, but...
大丈夫だ。俺の案をもとにそこからはティファリアにプロデュースしてもらうから。
Once Vilio said my name, their attitudes changed dramatically.
それなら大丈夫だね。
あなたのプロデュースなら安心して任せることができるな。
いいだろう。案を言ってみろ。
It's a lot of pressure.
おう、今回はな。
Ah, it's gonna cut here. It's gonna cut here. It's going to be a surprise to us, the audience, huh? After hearing Villiers' proposal, we all gave our input and advice. Then, we all went our separate ways and worked towards making Villiers' idea into reality. I need to get ready too. Okay, I've got everything. Next, I'll go back and prep for dinner. Ah, how about I bring a light snack for everyone who's busy practicing? With that in mind, I paid a visit to all of the members scattered about Arthea. I checked up on them, and while I was at it, handed out some refreshments. Last on my list was Eon, who was outside the city so he could freely practice with his weapon. I found him immediately after I walked off the road, single-mindedly swinging. That looks more like regular weapon drills, not practice. Eon? Huh? Did he miss that? That's pretty rare for him. Thinking that, I called out to him a second time. Eon!
ティファリアか。
Sorry for interrupting while you were concentrating. but I thought just leaving food here without telling you wouldn't be a good idea. Yeah, you probably wouldn't be aware of its existence.
いや、構わない。それはわざわざ作ってくれたのか？
I guess. It's nothing much, but there's still quite a while before dinner, so you can snack on this if you'd like.
あ、ありがたくいただく。
Smiled. Hey, Eon?
なんだろうか。
We all did our own thing at first, but now we're working hard as a team. Quoting Filio here, but we've already done it 4 times, so everything will be alright. All of us are an essential part of Circus. Everyone has the power to make people smile, and that includes you, Eon. So please don't bottle it all up and torment yourself over it. We're all in this together.
ティファリア。そうだな。
There was a faint smile on Eon's lips. Okay, I'll head back now. Good luck with practice. With that, I returned to Liba. Hopefully with this, Eon's unease will lift even a little. Ooh. Eon POV. Before our journey, I had kept her at arm's length. I did not want her to be hurt because she got involved with me. However, now that I reflect, my comrades, she was always right beside me.
自分の印はまだ消えていないというのに。だから、こんなに近くにいてはいけないのは分かっているはずなのに。
Yet those gloomy emotions slowly gave way to rays of light with her every word.
彼女は本当にすごいな。きっと最後も大丈夫。
I turned over those words in my mind. That alone was enough to calm the feelings I tried to ignore with my mindless swings. Yeah, he means the tattoo when he's referring to this. For some reason, they translated it a little differently this time round. I think they were mostly translating it as symbol before. Or tattoo.
彼女のためにも、今は目の前のことに集中しなくては。
I resolved to not let her worry over me again. Making up my mind, I returned to practice with focus. Alright, it's almost time to basically join back onto where we technically started this game, right? I think that's actually this point. Back to where we started in Media Res at the very beginning. From backstage, I stole a peek at the audience. That first show in Arthia felt like it had to have been eons ago, because today we have a full house. Moments before the opening, the interior of the tent was overflowing with people. And around the centre of the audience seats, I could see King Vigonia, as well as the petite Prince Colivus sitting in his large chair. They're really here. Oh no, I'm starting to get jittery. My grip on the curtain tightened a bit.
ほーら、ちゃんとなさい。そんな緊張で引きつった顔じゃ、誰も笑顔になんてできないわよ。誰かを笑顔にするには、まずは自分から。でしょ?
That's right. When I turned around, I saw all my trusted friends there with me. Soon, the final show would begin. Together, we would all do our best to make one single person smile. No, let me correct that. to see everybody here leave with a smile. So please, all of you, please.
心配すんな。ちゃんとやってやる。
きっと素敵なパフォーマンスになるよ。
約束しよう。期待は決して裏切らない。
一発で決めるぞ。
私たちの本気見せてあげましょう。頑張ろうみんなで。大丈夫。絶対うまくいくさ。
I felt almighty when we stood on the stage. Together, we could do anything. I was surrounded by trusted comrades with whom I shared both joys and sorrows. My lips curled into a grin and I drew in a deep breath. Then, let us begin.
It's showtime!
Oh, that was so close to lining up with the right point in this music, which is the the instrumental for the opening theme. We were just behind that line. It's showtime. Alright, what will...
これは一人では何もできなかった男の物語。仲間を得て世界に希望を灯すまでの物語。
Are we just telling the entire story of Arthea? Hello, Hunter. How are you doing?
世界を変えたい。世界はもっと皆が暮らしやすい場所になるはずだと男はそう信じていましたが、しかしちっぽけな自分一人の手ではどうすることもできないのだと下を向いて語ります。
Matching Genia's narration, I walked onto the stage. Our show in Ferris had been the story of Arthea and Raglas. Now, in our final show, we would unravel the next part of that tale. This was a legend of the beginning that everyone was familiar with. Arthea, after becoming friends with Raglas, formed contracts with the four great spirits and became the leader of the world. Wait, did you just say I should play King Arthea?
ああ、ぴったりだろ。
Hold on. King Arthea, our first king? The one who formed contracts with the four great spirits? That King Arthea? Me? Hello, Thomas. How are you doing? Not to mention he was a man, and Eon played the role last time. I'm fine with being the narrator, so Genia should be...
いや、今回はティファリアじゃなきゃダメだ。な、みんな。
そうだな。この話の主人公は最初からすげえやつじゃないから生きるんだ。ジーニアじゃそういう意味で感情移入しづれえだろ。
Yeah, okay, ready.
そうよね。私じゃ溢れ出る高貴なオーラが消せないもの。
うん。僕も今回は君にやってほしいな。
I guess that means that each of our friends is going to is going to play a different spirit, huh?
自分も今回の物語ならばあなたが敵役だと思う。
精霊役にもただの毛玉が混じってたりするんだ。
Ah, Reddy's going to be a great spirit. I was gonna guess playing the spirit of their representative hometown, but I guess that kind of doesn't work. Well, I don't know. Actually, if Raddy... No. We don't really have someone with a hometown of the Scholar City, except for our protagonist. So I mean, I guess Raddy could be playing that one, but I suppose equally Vilio could be playing that one. Well, no, because obviously, if Raddy is playing a Great Spirit, then yeah, it's Raddy for that, I guess, and the rest of the way around. And Vilio's being the dragon again. Which would make sense, given that Vilio is a dragon.
黒いマントでもかぶって出れば問題ないだろう。女だってのも喋らないようにしてナレーションが進行すればいい。
な、だから今回の主役はあんたしかいないんだ。
Since that happened, Zafira, Patalia, Eon, and Raddy would be the four great spirits. Vilio would, of course, play Reglas, Arthea's dragon friend. As for me, I was going to take on the role of King Arthea, the protagonist of this story. Since he was often depicted as powerful and mighty like a hero, we added some bold touches to our depiction of him. And we weaved our own embellishments into the story to suit the performance.
Na, Arteil. 変わりたいと思うならそうすればいい。踏み出さなきゃ何も変えられない。本当はあんたも分かってるんだろ。俺がついてるから大丈夫だ。だから一緒に前へ進もう。友であるラグレスの言葉を受け、アーテイルは前へ進みます。
I'm liking the little artworks.
4人の精霊と契約を結び力を借りるため、それしかし個性豊かな4人の精霊はそう簡単には契約してくれません。
Raddy is playing Celius.
俺に知恵を貸してほしい？いいだろう。だがその代わり一つ教えてくれ。俺は人の心というものが知りたい。完璧なダンスを披露してるというのに、ここにいる人間はどうして誰も笑わない？
土の精霊セリウスの問いかけにアーテイルは答えます。
Quick save, quick save, quick save. You have to smile first, I think.
誰かを笑顔にするためには、まずは自分が笑わなきゃと。俺たちと一緒に踊ろう。さあ、みんなも立ち上がってくれ。
A bright, cheerful melody began playing the moment Vilio yelled out.
セリウスも、さあ、一緒に。きっと、心がわかるはずだ。
Audience participation, huh? We dragged in the entire audience. They all danced freely, shaking their arms and bodies to the beat of the song. Even the king was no exception.
踊るなんていつぶりだろうか。
Everyone showed off their unique moves all around the tent. Raddy and I watched as we danced along too, smiles of joy lighting up our faces.
完璧なのも大事かもしれない。だけどそれよりも、もっと一緒に楽しむことが大切なはずだ。誰かのために考えて一緒に動く。それが心ってやつじゃねえか。
いいだろう。俺様の知恵を貸してやるぜ。
力を貸せって。まあいいだろう。ただし俺とのゲームに勝ったらだ。
Ooh. Zafra lifted his arm and a gust of wind rushed across the venue.
今とても大事なものをこの中のどこかに隠した。ここにいる誰かがそれを持っている。それを見つけられればお前の勝ち。降参したらお前の負け。さあこのゲーム勝ってみろ。
風の大精霊リベラの言葉にアーテイルは考えます。さあ皆さん、アーテイルを助けてあげてください。大事なものをお持ちの方は手を挙げて教えてください。
ここで手挙げるんだっけ？
Ah, Leanne. We'd given instructions to the audience beforehand, so they all raised their hands at Junior's cue. Her mannerisms were all different. Some were eager, some were shy, but everyone cooperated nonetheless, and I felt my heart fire up at the sight. I'm glad you're all enjoying this, you guys.
皆様ありがとうございました。しかしアーテイルは困った様子。全員が手を挙げています。これではどこに大事なものが隠されたのかわかりません。
この中から正解を選んでみろ。降参するなら隠した場所を教えてやる。
そんなリベラの問いかけにアーテイルは答えます。
I'll choose or I can't choose. Ooh. I can't help but feel like these choices are very important. Quick save, quick save. I think I'll choose, right? Gotta be decisive.
そんなリベラの問いかけにアーテイルは答えます。
Oh, okay. Apparently I'm not allowed to choose the incorrect answer anyway. I can't choose.
わからなかったってことか。
Choose Leanne. After Zafra said his line, I shook my head in an exaggerated motion.
アーテイルの答えはこうでした。ここにいる全員が正しいんだ。だから選ぶことはできなかった。誰にだって大事なものは必ずある。だからここにいる全員が手を挙げるのは当たり前だ。だから全員が正解。だから誰かを選ぶなんてできない。それにお前は誰の大事なものか指定しなかった。
Yeah, you just said a precious something, not the precious something that he hid. There's a difference, right?
引っかからなかったな。
Though I knew he was acting, when Zafra smiled, it was gentle and warm, like the one he'd worn in Cultura.
大正解だ。約束通り俺も力を貸してやろう。
Water, Patalia. As Leve.
いらっしゃい、二人とも。セリウスとリベラから話は聞いてるよ。ただ、今困ってることがあって、それを解決してくれた後でなら、僕も喜んで力を貸すよ。
Pashalia spread his arms and looked out over the entire tent.
子供たちが全然言うことを聞いてくれなくて、今も好き勝手に遊び回って周りに迷惑をかけて困ってるんだ。
なんだお前。おい、メガネに水をかけるな。
ね、あんな感じで困ってるんだ。君からやめるよう言ってくれないかな。
水の大精霊レーベの出すお願いに応えるため、アーテイルは精霊たちのもとへ向かいます。
Most people can't see them, so we use a little trick to make the ones helping us out appear visible to everyone. And they're all holding glowing stones in their hands. Looking at them, I said, don't do that, or why aren't you listening? Let's go with why aren't you listening?
精霊と話をしたアーテイルは彼らの言葉をレーベに伝えます。精霊たちはレーベが自分たちを置いて他の人間たちにばかり構うのが寂しかったのだと。
そうだったんだ。みんなごめんね。それじゃあ仲直りしよう。
Pashalia lifted his baton. With that, a gentle melody flowed out. Spirits drifted elegantly in the air as they gathered around Pashalia. He then conjured water flowers and gave them out to the spirits, saying,
君たちの声をちゃんと聞けなくてごめんね。
一方的に思うだけじゃ伝わらないよな。相手のことを考えて向き合わなきゃ。
二人ともありがとう。約束通り僕も力を貸すよ。
よく来たな。お前たちのことは他の精霊たちから聞いている。力を貸してほしいというのなら、その強さ、自分と戦い示してみろ。
最後は誇り高き戦士で知られる炎の大精霊バレン。出会ってすぐ戦闘を申し込まれたアーテイルは自分の夢のため果敢に立ち向かいます。しかしアーテイルはすぐに負けてしまいます。
Keep trying out. Ask for help is clearly the option here.
しかしアーテイルはすぐに負けてしまいます。
Okay, no. Apparently the answer is keep trying. You wonder if the story is different depending on the character path? Probably not.
それでもアーテイルは諦めません。バレンの攻撃がアーテイルに当たりかけると、
We are still technically on the common route, even though we've had a bunch of specifically Eon interactions.
避けただと。いや、地面が移動したのか。
大地が移動し、
風だと。
風が力を相殺し、
今度は炎。
炎が舞えば水で消さ、ついにバレンは武器を下ろします。
なぜお前たちが手助けをする。人間を積極的に助けるような者たちではなかったはずだ。しかし、ただ助けるだけでこちらには攻撃をしてこない。お前たちが束になるなり、そこにいるドラゴンの力を使えば勝敗は決するというのに、なぜそうせず守りに徹している。
簡単な話さ。アーテイルがそれを望んでいないからだ。あんたは強さを示せって言っただろ。強さってのは勝つことだけじゃないはずだ。
こいつの持つ強さは力じゃねえからな。
夢のために 未来のために絶対に諦めない心。
戦ったお前ならもう分かってるだろ。
そうだ。あなたは誰より強い。約束通り自分も力を貸そう。
知ってる話とは少し違うけど、きっとこれがあんたたちの辿ってきた旅なんだね。本当にいい仲間を持ったね、ティファリア。
こうして4人の精霊に力を借りることができたアーテイルは、いよいよ自分の夢を叶えるために。お前も来いよ、ジーニア。
Before Genia could finish his narration like we'd rehearsed, someone cut him off. It was Vilio, who called out to him directly before heading backstage to drag him out. Vilio had improvised this, and for a moment, Genia, of all people, was taken aback. But it only lasted for an instant.
お呼ばれしたんじゃ断らないわけにはいかないわね。サーカス団長の私、ジーニアも喜んで手を貸しましょう。
Should have expected nothing but the best from Genia. He reacted on the fly and took the stage while making it entertaining. Talk about surprising, but that ad-lib was so Vilio's style. We couldn't leave any member out. This was a show... This was a show worthy of our vision, of our beliefs. Keep hitting the wrong buttons, huh?
仲間を得たアーテイルはいよいよ夢を叶えるために前へ進みます。しかし目の前に広がるのは目がくらむほど眩しい世界で。
I'm just a human, a puny human who can't do anything alone. Am I really the right person? Will I really make it through to the end?
アーテイルは不安でした。ですが、
お前が一人で踏ん張ってたことくらい全員知ってるんだ。
もう一人ぼっちでいる必要はないんだよ。
私たちはあなたのために動いてたのよ。
あなたがいなければ始まらない。
大丈夫だ。不安があれば一緒に背負ってやるから。
Everyone looks cute in this
ここ
CG.
にお前を待ってる奴らがいる。
Look at them. All of them.
お前のために集まった。お前だから集まったんだ。だから勇気を出して一歩踏み出せ。
These lines were also meant for Prince Colivus. A message for the prince who fought alone all this time, sealing away his heart in solitude. For the prince who was stronger and kinder than anyone in this entire world. I hope that our feelings will reach you. Wishing that with all my heart, I grabbed my black cloak and flung it off. I reached out towards all the hands held out to me. I was scared at first too. I was scared about walking into the big wide world. But I was able to come this far because all of you were with me. Some things are impossible alone, but with partners by your side, anything is possible. And you're necessary too. Come along, let's march into a radiant future together. Muster the strength to step outside. Your family, your friends, your own companions are right there, so everything will be okay. Even if there's sadness along the way, I'm sure that a bright future is waiting for you, just within reach. The prince was watching the stage filled with vibrant lights and sounds. The shape of his heart had still been blurred, as if a fog hung over it, but now, seeing the many smiles surrounding him, and hearing that special message for him, the fog slowly but surely cleared. Light returned to those once empty eyes. And then he cried. When the next day came around, we were informed that the prince's health was stable now, so I went to the castle with the rest of circus. This place is... It's the throne room where the king grants audiences, right? My first time here. The majestic atmosphere weighed on me, making my heart race. Even our usually lively members were dead silent here. A while later, the door farther inside opened up, and the ruler of this country, King Vigonia, emerged. He was accompanied by the reason for our journey, Prince Colivus. Together they made their entrance into the throne room. We all bowed our heads in reverence. I can't believe I'm seeing them in person. I might have gotten just as close during our show, but it's so different from back then, and I'm so nervous. Given permission, I gingerly lifted my head. When the king saw that everyone had looked up, he began addressing us.
サーカスの諸君、コリブスのためにご苦労だった。昨日のショーも大変楽しませてもらったよ。経過はすべてアレストから聞いている。改めて礼を言わせてもらおう。本当にありがとう。
After those words, King Vigonia slowly lowered his own head towards us. Oh dear, that's not normal. Next to him, Prince Colivus, though a little flustered, followed his example and gave us a bow.
この通りコリブスはここまで回復した。君たちのおかげだ。ほら、挨拶を。
ありがとうございました。
He's got a very cute voice. The prince was animated and full of life as he spoke to us. He seemed a little timid, but he was nothing like the doll others had described him as for so long.
元気になったみたいでよかったな。
今さら治るとは思っていないが、せめて敬語くらい使ったらどうだ？
気持ちはなんとなくわかるけど、ビリオだから無理よ。
Yeah, the chances of Vilio talking in a formal manner are extremely unlikely.
ああ、構わないさ。さて、コリブスは目覚めたばかりだ。申し訳ないが、この場は体調を考慮し下がらせる。アレスト。
かしこまりました。
Alest gave orders to his subordinates, who then escorted Prince Colivus out of the throne room. After he left,
それでは諸君には改めてコリブスの詳しい状態を伝えておこう。
僭越ながら説明は私の方からいたします。
yes, let's get the explanation from Alest. Seeing Alest's expression was solemn, Passalia quietly whispered.
あんまりいい話じゃないのかな。
そうね。100% 手放しで喜べる状況とは言えないわ。
Well, we can't expect him to be back to 100% yet.
君たちの咲かせたフローラで王子の心は溶けて正常な状態に戻られた。だが本来王子のご年齢は17歳にもかかわらず、今の王子のお体は心を閉ざされた7歳の時のまま。
Well, you can't expect the sort of magic that ages someone 10 years in a night, plus. He's probably going to have to grow those 10 years the natural way.
つまり心は戻ったが何らかの理由で体が戻らないってことか。
ああ、考えられる理由は2つ。まず長年ご自分を縛る魔法を使い続けていたことによる魔力の消耗。これは時間の問題だ。待てば自然と回復なさるだろう。問題はもう一つの方だ。王子自身の心が無意識に成長することを拒んでいる。
成長することを拒んでいる。
I mean, seriously, I don't think anyone wants to, like, suddenly grow up, right?
ええ。考えてもみて。コリブス様はこの10年、ただ生きながらえていただけ。おそらくコリブス様もその間の記憶はほとんどないわ。つまりコリブス様からすれば突然10年後の世界に連れてこられたみたいなものよ。
まあそうだよな。7歳の子供が突然大人になれって言われてもできるわけがね
王子は見たことのない世界に触れ戸惑い怯えてらっしゃる状態だ。
おそらく心の奥底で成長し本来の年齢になれば嫌でも現実と向き合わなければならないことも分かっているんだろう。コリブスはそれを無意識に拒んでいる。これがコリブスの現状だ。
You have to grow old, but you don't have to grow up. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
しかし原因が分かっていても具体的にどうすれば戻るのか方法はまだ定まっていない。
もう一度フローラの蜜を与えればいいのか、それとも時間をかけて王子の心が現実を受け入れるのを待てばいいのか。
I mean, can't we just let him age the 10 years the natural way? Because, like, that would be how I would expect it to happen. But
追加でフローラを開発することは可能だが、今度はあくまで心の問題だ。
正直なところ手詰まりって感じの状況ね。
that's awful. We finally managed to thaw his heart with the flora we all bloomed, but he's still far from healed.
それなら旅をさせればいいじゃねえか。
突然何を言い出すんだ。いずれこの国を背負うお方だ。そう簡単には。
Yeah, you can't just send the prince of a country out on a field trip. Really have.
いつかの未来、世界を背負わなきゃならないからこそだ。自分の肩に乗るものを知ることこそ今のコリブスに必要なんじゃないか。世界を自分の目で見て肌で感じて話を聞いて触れ合って、そうすることで初めてわかるんだ。自分の背負ってるものがどんなに大事なものなのか。ずっと住んでた島しか知らなかった俺が旅をして分かったことだ。従者に世話をされてるだけじゃ絶対に手に入らないものがある。コリブスに世界を見る旅をさせようぜ。 俺たちも一緒に行くからさ。
I was wondering when Vilio was going to volunteer the rest of us for this juicing. Did he just...
ビリオ、お前ナチュラルに俺たちのことも含めてるよ
このメンバーだから俺はいろいろ知ることができたからな。
旅か。
Alright, once more around the country, this time with the prince.
ああ、大丈夫だ。ドラゴンの俺がついてるんだ。それに頼もしい仲間もいる。
またこのメンバーで旅に出るってこと？
再び王子を新たに加えて。
When's Radiant Tail 2 out? Later this year, I think, in English, Radiant Tail fanfare. But also, given that this was still the common route, I think we're doing this the second journey now.
待て、何を勝手に。
Oop, I missed
無
that
茶を
line.
言うの
then.
は承知だ。しかし、
Everyone seemed thrown off by this.
頼む。
Everyone seemed thrown off by this turn of events and cut into the exchange. But then,
おう。
先日観覧した諸君の講演は、ひととき王という立場を忘れ、一人の客として楽しませてもらった。初代国王アーテイルがそうであったように、コリブスにも信頼できる仲間が必要だ。君たちにならコリブスを託すことができる。だからどうか頼まれてくれないだろうか。
with those words, the king then slowly bowed towards us in a silent plea. Rejecting a direct request of King of Begonia was outright preposterous.
ビゴニア様からの頼みを断るわけにはいかないわよね。
王がそうおっしゃるのなら。
それじゃ決まりね。
And just like that, Circus was going to tour around the world once again, with Colobus as our newest member. Circus. After their tour to each of the major five, they found splendid success and bloomed the flora. Prince Colobus's heart had been thawed, but his body remained stuck in time. Thus, they set off on a new journey with a new member, Prince Colobus, to encourage his growth. Colobus. His frozen heart has melted thanks to the efforts of Circus. After all that's left in his body, all that's left is his body, so he decides to travel with Circus to encourage growth in himself. He is rather timid and withdrawn, partly due to his nature and partly because he's only recently regained his heart. As royalty, he can use magic of any element. I have another chance to travel with everyone. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't anxious at all. Part of my mind wondered whether I'd get along well with Prince Colobus. But the loudest thought was, we don't have to split up now. Joy filled my heart to the brim. Yay! Eon's roots! We're here! We're on it! Eon POV.
空いている。入ってくれ。
急に呼び出してすまないな、イーオン。
いえ、自分もちょうど挨拶に伺おうと思っていたので。
I bowed my head and looked at the person summoning me. Alest, a young man serving King Vigonia as his aide and right-hand man. He was the one who led the public security forces in exposing the ugly truth behind the underground arena 3 years ago. He was also the one who recommended me to join Circus, even though I was considered a risk and under house arrest. I owed my life to him.
宣告は突然の話で、君も驚いただろう。
It had been decided that we would go on another trip, with the details issued at a later date. Alest had just summoned me to one of the rooms in the castle.
はい。まさかコリブス王子が同行することになるとは。
Yeah, isn't this super dangerous if the person who has the ring turns up?
正直、私としては複雑な気持ちだ。よりによってあのバカに我らが王子を預けるなどと考えただけで胃が痛くなる。
Alest. I'm sure Alest could come with us if he wanted to, right?
すまない。あのバカの話は置いておいて、ひとまず本題に入るとしよ
う。Alest cleared his throat and quietly stared at me.
事情はどうあれ、王子が同行することになった以上、サーカスにとっても今度の旅は今までとは勝手が違ってくる。特に君の立場は複雑だ。未確定だが、おそらく今後。
承知した。
Yeah, okay, you're right, Drag. He probably can't join us. Because he's got a lot of work to do. I feel like the whole reason that that Genia is the one with us is because Genia doesn't have a whole bunch of work to do. I mean, comparatively. I wasn't particularly shocked hearing that. In fact, I already expected it. No matter what I do, it's an unavoidable fact.
随分と素直にうなずくのだな。文句の一つもあると思ったが。
いえ、いずれこういう日が来るのは分かっていたので。そうだ。最初から分かっていた。自分はあまりに異端すぎる。彼らとは生きる世界が違いすぎる。
Lester, you're not gonna let Yon come with us, because that's not fair.
普通を尊ぶあの少女たちとは交わるはずのない人生だった。ただ、それだけの話です。
そうか。君はまたそうやって理不尽な現状を受け入れるのか。
Alest looked at me with his calm gaze. I could see the pity and sympathy in his eyes.
サーカスと共に旅へ出たことで何かが変わるかと期待したが、やはり君は同じままなのだな。あの地下から解放された時と。
ええ、あなたもご存知の通りです。
I muttered to myself, touching my right eye, feeling the tingling pain.
この刻印が身を縛る限り、自分は変われるはずがない。
No, Eon. So I guess we have two aims for the rest of this, but we gotta fix the prince. We've also got to fix
それなら
Eon.
旅をさせればいいじゃねえか。コリブスに世界を見る旅をさせようぜ。俺たちも一緒に行くからさ。
It had been several days since Vilio's sudden proposal. Now that we'd decided to set off on another journey.
はーい、みんなおひさー。リフレッシュはできたかしら？
We took over Liba for the day to hold our meeting.
いやー、誰もが涙したあのラストショーから1週間。まさかこんなに早く再集合とか、さすがの俺も思わなかったぜ。
Ah, yes, and find the ring in time for the ceremony. That find the ring is included in the fix Eon part.
何が涙のラストショーだ。勝手に記憶を捏造するとか、どんな脳の構造だ。
そうだな。みんなが別れを惜しんでいたのは事実だが、あの時涙を流していたのはティファリアだけだったはず。
I wasn't crying. My eyes were just damp.
それを泣いてたって言うんじゃないかな。
Honestly. He's not wrong, though. Puffed up my cheeks in frustration at everyone's teasing. But I couldn't keep it up for long. I broke into a smile almost immediately.
随分と嬉しそうだな、ティファリア。
I genuinely thought we'd part ways right after we got back to the capital. It saddens me that I have to leave Libra again, and it'll be a little longer until I can get my wish. But I'm happy that I get to travel with you guys again.
そうか。
It feels strange somehow. At the beginning, I'd wanted to go home so badly it was all I could think about. And Eon was just plain scary to me. But now, I feel like the word teammates is not enough to describe us. I feel like Tefalia's wish involves sorting out Eon's problem so that he can be comfortable enough with the idea of getting married to her and taking over the inn. Right? He nodded quietly when my eyes flicked over to him.
いや、何も不思議ではない。そんな気持ちになるのは、それだけ旅が楽しかった証拠。まだ一緒にいたかったと、そう思ってくれた証拠だろう。
Yeah, you're right. I hope Eon is feeling the same. For some reason, I couldn't keep my eyes on him anymore and looked away. Spirea, being considerate, left the store for a while. So aside from the usual members, we only had one more person with us. Prince Colivus. He's so small. Look at him, he's so small. Our eyes met for a moment. Oh! Oh! Baby! He got shy and hid behind the person that he knows the best. He fidgeted shyly, hiding behind Genia. He's like a cute little puppy being put in an unfamiliar place.
おいおい、なんで端っこなんだよコリブス。こっちに来て真ん中に座れって。
でも仲間同士で楽しんでるし、邪魔しちゃ悪いかなと思って。
That's a mood.
今日から君もその一員なんだよ。だから気にしないで。ね。
Suddenly joining a group where everyone knows one another really well. Sounds like Cheka, but a bit older. That's right. Don't hesitate to join us. Your height, I mean, Colivus. Oh, we're on first name terms, huh? His Majesty told us to treat you like our friend, not a prince. Still, even if the person himself wishes so, it'll be a while before I can get used to not addressing him by his title.
そろそろ具体的な話に移るぞ。お前らをほっといたら永遠に話が進まなそうだ。
まずはルート選択だろうか。やはり最初は狩りだか。
Yeah, we could just start off in Canada again.
俺らはそれでも構わねえけどよ。でもコリブスって今までほとんど城から出たことないだろ。なのに突然知らない連中に囲まれて知らない場所へ向かうって怖くねえか？
ちょっと怖い。
Raddy has a point. It'll be too much for him to suddenly go to a faraway place when he probably hasn't even had his first sleepover. With that being said, let's teach him first, or how about a show here? I wanna check the status thing. Do I have? Okay, I do have a gauge. I have a gauge. Alright, affection gauge part 2, let's go. Let's teach him first, or how about a show here? Let's teach him first. I suppose we don't need to hurry this time, right, Genia?
ええ、そうね。王子の成長が一番の目的なわけだし、開催地も特に決まってないわ。
That being said, how about we stay in the capital for now and let him see what we can do? The castle isn't that far from here. We can go pick him up and practice together.
つまり最初の公演はアーテイルか。確かに、
Hey,
そこで打ち解ければこの先の旅も安心できるだろうしな。
success.
それに最初の公演をこのアーテイルでするなら何かと都合がいい。
Convenient? I tilted my head at Yon, who looked relieved. Genia nodded slightly in agreement and looked at everyone.
特に反対意見はないみたいね。それじゃあこれからはオートで公演日まで練習ね。広場のスケジュールが空き次第、王子回復記念と題してお披露目公演でいいかしら？
Sure, no complaints here.
お披露目公演って僕がお客さんの前に立つの？
それ以外に何がある？というか主役はお前だぞ。
僕が主役？
Don't scare the poor kid, Zafara.
そんなに震える必要はない。我々も可能な限り協力する。
みんなに元気な姿を見せるためのいい機会だと思うよ。
そうだね。
Alright, now that everything's set, time to come up with the program. Since Colivus will be our main star, it'd be nice if we could incorporate some magic into the show. A teasing voice came from above my head while I was mumbling to myself.
あら、さすが敏腕プロデューサー。早速ショーの検討開始？
プロデューサー？
ああ、こいつはサーカスの広報係兼プロデューサーなんだ。
でも団長はジーニアだよね。
まあでもジーニアだしな。
Yeah, you know how Junior is. Hey, Junior, even this basically 7-year-old knows how you knows what you're like. Even Culliver sees Junior that way. Makes me wonder how he's not fired yet. Tifalia, I think the answer to that is nepotism.
我々サーカスが成功できたのは彼女の力によるものだ。
Hold on, Eon. You're exaggerating. We've come this far because everyone helped out and put in their best efforts.
だが、あなたの貢献度が高いのは他の誰もが認める事実だろう。
そうなんだ。ティファリアってすごいんだね。
I feel my cheeks blush red as he stared at me with pure amazement.
ってことで、敏腕 P さん、コリブスのこともお願いね。
Ace P. Stands for Ace Producer.
新人の教育もプロデューサーの仕事のうちでしょ？
I feel like this is you giving me work that you should be doing yourself, Junior.
ああ、消去法で適任だな。
Zafara too. Why are you putting it that way? That's not true.
まさか他のメンバーに王子の教育係を任せる気か？
Zafara naturally included himself in the bunch. He's aware that he's not suited for this.
もちろん僕たちも手伝うけど、教育係は君がいいと思う。
Certainly a way to get the kids to like me. Yeah. Just gonna spend the entire time with Prince Culliver, huh? Why am I suited to be the mentor of a prince? That's Alia.
何よりコリブスが君に懐いてるみたいだしね。
That's right, just pawn the kid off on the only girl here, huh? I turned to him. His sparkling eyes were basically glued to my face. I can't bring myself to refuse if he looks at me like that. Ah, the prince has the puppy dog eyes. Fine.
決まりね。
I'll go pick him up at the castle and you guys will take turns practicing with him. Let's do our best, Colobus. And just like that, together with Colobus, we started preparing for our commemoration show. It marked our new start. Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen the map. Okay, we can practice with Belia, with Zafara, with Raddy, with Pasalia. And there is currently no option for Eon, so I guess let's go hang out with Belia then. Maybe we shouldn't go hang out with Belia. You're terrifying the poor kid. Hey, Billio! Stop that! Stop! you see how scared he is?
あれあれ、気合い入れすぎちまったか。
ショーの時も見たけど、間近だとすごい迫力だった。
We were trying to find what Colobus could do as he got to know each of our members. The best way to get the best way to get to know me is to see my dragon form. Or so Billio said. We went to a meadow located just outside of the city.
イオンが大きい武器を使ってるのも、ビリオのドラゴンも迫力あってかっこよくてすごいね。
だろだろ。フェルスのショーでは俺ら二人で演舞したりしたんだぜ。
Eon was so strong that he could actually take on Billio in his dragon form.
おう、いろんな街を見たけど、イオンぐらい強い人間には今まで出会わなかったな。
そうなんだね。僕は体が強い方じゃないから、ちょっと憧れるかも。
Well, I'm sure when you grow up, kid. Colobus nodded and tilted his head.
そういえば、イオンはアレストの指示で参加したって聞いてるけど、ビリオはどうしてサーカスに加わったの？
俺か？
うん。ドラゴンは人里離れた場所で暮らすものって聞いてたから、人間とは交流しないドラゴンがパフォーマーとして参加してるの、なんだか不思議だなって。
Now that he's mentioned it, I feel like Billio never told us why he joined. I'd never heard about any other dragons. And there were times when I forgot Billio even was a dragon, since he's so similar to everyone else.
そんな深い理由はねえよ。俺はドラゴンの中でも変わり者らしいからな。外の世界が見たくて住んでたとこを飛び出しただけだ。
Then you joined circus?
ああ、最初はもちろんショーとかやったことないし、どうしたらいいんだろうって戸惑ったりもしたけどさ、仲間と一緒に受けるステージの拍手って最高に気持ちいいんだ。出てきて本当に良かったって思ってる。
Billio gave us a bright smile, his fingers stroking Colobus's hair. Are you allowed to pet the prince? Well, I suppose this is Billio and he has no idea what he's doing.
だから俺はお前にもこの気持ちを知ってほしいんだ。コリブスももう立派な俺たちの仲間だからな。
Next. Yeah, let's just work our way left to right. Zephyr is at Cheers, apparently. We were supposed to practice with Zephyr today. However, there was something I needed to take care of, so I had to leave for a while. I don't know if it was the right choice to leave Colobus alone with Zephyr. No, I don't think it was the right choice, Tapalia. What are you doing? Zephyr wouldn't hold back his sassy mouth. Just because he was talking with the prince. Worried that Colobus might get bullied, I ran back to the pub as fast as I could.
Tifalia! おかえり。
なんだ、もう戻ってきたのか。
Yeah, it was fast because I don't trust you. Colobus didn't seem as scared as I imagined. Or rather, it was the complete opposite of my imagination. He seemed to be having lots of fun drinking juice beside Zephyr. he didn't bully you, Colobus? I'm not sure you're supposed to say that out loud, Alia.
今の一言でお前が俺に抱いてるイメージが丸分かりだな。
That's not what I meant. What were you guys talking about?
別にお前には関係ない。
ザフォラってすごいんだよ。いろいろためになることを教えてくれたんだ。
Well, I hope all of those things were on the lawful end of things, Colobus.
こいつのあまりの世間知らずっぷりに呆れたからな。不審者にさらわれないよう最低限の知識をつけてやっただけだ。
Okay. Taught him how not to get kidnapped. That's good.
俺も実際世間を知らなすぎて痛い目にあったこともあるからな。
Ah. Yes, the speaking from experience. I see. Zafra was surviving by himself, all clueless after he left Volterra. If we put it that way, Zafra might be the one who could sympathize with Colobus the most. He must be seeing himself in the prince. So, what did Zafra teach you?
人に騙されない方法とか、人に追われた時の巻き方とか。
Okay.
嘘を信じさせる交渉術とか、人の心を暴く喋り方とか。
Ah, here we go. This is getting less useful, Zafra. Zafra?
必要な知識ではあるだろう。イーオンみたいな腕力の強さがあれば話は別だが、もやしみたいにひょろいコリブスは知恵で立ち回るしかないからな。
I totally see his points, but it still feels wrong. What in the world did you teach him, Zafra? He's still only 7 at heart after all.
ね、ザフォラ、続き。もっと話聞かせて。
わかった。
Nope.
なら次は一般的なピッキングの方法を教えてやる。
You know, that was what I was thinking when I said I hope it was all on the legal end of things. Zafra, I don't think the prince needs to learn how to pick locks. Well, it's a good thing that Colobus has taken a liking to him. Not everything Zafra is teaching him is bad. Tell him later not to make this a habit. Hey, Reddy, what kind of disaster do you have for us?
そう、このままではフローラを咲かすなど不可能。しかし誰もが諦めたその時、俺様はこう言い放った。ふん、このラディ様に任せな。まだ諦めるには早いぜ。こうして見事俺様の活躍でサーカスは成功したのだった。第1部完。
Stories of the Great Reddy. What are you talking about, Reddy? I had left Colobus with Reddy while going to buy some things in the city. When I came back, I saw Reddy passionately performing something in front of Colobus.
いやー、コリブスがどうしても俺らの旅について聞きたいってせがんでくるからよ。さらっと今までの旅路を語ってやってたんだ。
That was quite the reenactment for just a summary.
でもびっくりしたよ。すごい旅だったんだね。
特に捕まったティファリアをみんなで救出した時の話なんて手に汗握る展開だったし。
Rescued me from who? Ratty, have you been lying to this boy?
そのコリブス、ちょうど話も一段落したし。
Ratty's been lying to the boy. Hey, Colobus, I thought Zafra taught you how not to get deceived.
俺はそろそろ逃げだ。いや、おいとましてだな。
それにイーオンとラディが君をめぐる恋のライバルだなんて。
Ratty? Ratty, what have you been telling the kid?
旅の中で生まれた三角関係。人は愛ゆえに争うんだね。
Well, if Ratty and Eon have been doing any fighting, it's been outside of where I could see. I would like to squish a fluff ball. And not in a good way.
待て待て、落ち着け。尻尾引っ張んな。抜ける抜ける。
Care to explain?
ほらあれだ。まずコリブスには俺らへ興味を持ってもらわないとだろ。だからちーっと曲がり、話にエンタメを混ぜてだな。
What do you mean, a little? What love triangle?
おお、悪い悪い。お前からいいおへの片思いってちゃんと訂正しとくから。
I don't know about an unrequited love here, Randy. Pulling on Raddy's cheeks, I racked my brain. How was I going to explain this to Colobus? Yeah, that was a disaster. Yes. Right, Pashalia, please don't teach the kid anything weird.
はい、それじゃあもう一度目を閉じてゆっくり深呼吸しよう。そう、そのまま水面に手をつけて精霊さんの呼吸を感じるんだ。
Alia was teaching Colobus how to control his magic. But Pashalia hasn't been properly taught this either. We left the city and went to a nearby stream where lots of water spirits were.
命令したり従わせようとするんじゃなくて、友達の手を取るみたいにお願いする。はい、コリブス、やってみて。惜しい。でもさっきよりすごく良くなってるよ。もう一度やってみよう。
My face creased with the delight seeing how hard Colobus kept trying, even after failing so many times. Maybe the two of them just hit it off well, or perhaps Pashalia was simply a good teacher. Pashalia isn't the type who would make you feel down if you failed, so he can just keep trying without any worries. You're really good at teaching, Pashalia.
生徒がいいんだよ。頑張り屋だし、もともとの素質も高いし。コツさえつかめば、僕なんてあっという間に追い越されちゃうと思う。それに、コリブスがちゃんと魔法を使えるようになれば、ショーの魔法は全部コリブスに任せられるかもしれないし。
But you'll still take part in them, right? Pascalia simply smiled as he returned to teaching Kalavas. I wouldn't say he was avoiding the question just now. He was just being himself.
あ、まずはサーカスのメンバーにお願いを聞いてもらえるように練習するのがいいかも。
は？
精霊さんと同じでね。みんなそれぞれ個性があるから、お願いの仕方も変えなきゃいけないんだ。
Yeah, I can see how this might work.
メンバーみんなにお願いを聞いてもらえれば、精霊さんとの連携もコツをつかめるようになるんじゃないかな。
I see.
そうだね。まずはイオンからがいいかも。一番お願いを聞いてもらいやすいからね。
そうなの？
うん。イオンが作ってくれるクッキーがとっても美味しいんだ。お店で売ってるものって味が濃すぎたり甘すぎたりするんだけど、イオンのは素朴で優しい味がしてね。話してたらまた食べたくなってきたな。
Natalia, is this all just a way to get yourself some cookies? By using a 7-year-old?
僕も食べてみたくなってきた。
じゃあ早速イオンのところに行こうか。
Wait, hold on. Aren't we getting off topic here?
大丈夫大丈夫。これも魔法の練習の一環なんだから。
Cookies are part of magic practice. Very important part of magic practice. Natalia really might consider both Circus and the spirits as friends. But why do I feel like he's just making up an excuse to eat snacks? Oh well, at least Colivus seems happy. It warmed my heart when I imagined the two of them pestering Eon to make them cookies. I watched as Pascalia and Colivus walked towards the city. No, I want to see them pester Eon! No, game! Game! Boo. In the beginning, Colivus was so nervous and scared, I wasn't really sure whether he would warm up to everyone. Fortunately, he managed to fit in just fine. That day, Colivus and I were shopping for some ingredients to cook with.
よいしょ。よいしょ。
Are you okay? If it's too heavy, I'll get...
平気だよ。こんなの余裕だし。
Ah, he's being stubborn. Being stubborn about carrying heavy bags. He's trying to impress me.
何？その生温かい目。
Oh, nothing. It's just, it's been a while since you joined us, you know? You've grown so much closer to everyone now. We continued chatting while walking.
あれ？そこにいるのは王子様じゃないか。
We immediately halted our steps the moment we heard that.
何？コリブス様だって？おお、本当だ。
Yeah, I was wondering how we were doing this. People started gathering around us.
おじいちゃん、あれ誰？
ああ、しばらく姿をお見せにならなかったからね。あれはコリブス王子だよ。お目覚めになられたと聞いていたが、お元気そうでよかった。
おかげさまで。
The street was filling with a crowd of people, all with curious eyes. This is bad. More and more people keep coming to see. One moment, please give His Highness some Unfortunately, my voice alone wasn't enough to diffuse the situation.
押さないで。
We were almost separated because of the crowd, but then... Eon to the rescue, I'm guessing.
申し訳ないのだが。
A young man with piercing looks arrived to save us from the swarm.
王子は未だ病み上がりの身だ。静かにしていただけるとありがたい。
Alright, see you, Thomas.
あんたは？
国のパフォーマンス集団、サーカスの一員だ。
じゃあ、あんたが王子様の心を溶かしたっていう？
ああ。来週我々は広場で王子の回復記念公演を予定している。王子も国民に感謝を伝えるため、自らステージに立つおつもりだ。
Colivus nodded in a panic while meeting the curious gazes of the crowd.
今練習中。いいショーになるよう頑張ってる。
なんと王子が我らのためにショーを見せてくださると。
なので王子への祝いの言葉はその時まで取っておくといい。ということで失礼する。当日はぜひ見に来てくれ。
Eon then lifted the little prince and held him under his arm. Oh no. I couldn't make it through that sentence without bursting out into laughter because I'm visualizing it. Prince just being carried like a sack of flour. We quickly left the situation before the crowd could say anything else. And I think that's probably a good place to end it. So, thank you everyone for watching. It's been fun. We finally made it onto our character route. If you're new here and you've enjoyed your time, please consider subscribing to the channel. You can also follow me on social media, which is linked below. The streaming schedule is posted both over there on social media and over here on YouTube in the community tab. And the next scheduled stream is Friday, 7 PM, which is most likely going to be Bait and Kaitos unless Twisted Wonderland decides to throw a time-sensitive event at me. With it being the new month. Kind of feels like another Bait and Kaitos moment. Yes, because we got to a point then it was like, oh no, there's more. But yeah. Anyway, hope to see you in the next stream. Or another time in the future. Once again, thanks for coming. And this is Kalla signing out. See ya. Bye bye.